What's up, everybody? This is Zach with the Nerd Cave Podcast. This is episode 231, and I'm joined along with the bearded sultan himself,
Robbie Rolls.
Robbie, we got some news to get into. But before we do that, you can get this podcast early if you go over to patreon.com/nerdcave. You just throw us a few dollars, make Robbie holla, and you get it either audio or video, or you could watch the live stream just like the people are right now. So you could do all that good stuff.
Yeah.
$1, you get Let's Plays, you get the live stream. $5, you get the live stream and the Let's Plays and early access to the audio, the edited audio podcast, and on forth and so forth.
If you're really cool, you would listen to the YouTube video on silent and have another phone with the podcast, and you play them at the exact same time.
So it lines up.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a lot of work.
Or you could subscribe on YouTube and subscribe on iTunes and comment, share, and all that good stuff everywhere.
I'm trying to think of new intriguing ways.
Intriguing ways, like Inception. Wow.
No, if you want Inception, just take the playback speed and put it down to, I think it's 2.5 is the lowest speed you can get on playback for YouTube.
No, you can do 0.5.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, just do that.
Yeah, do that. Hang on every word. Every
single
word. Or if you don't have those dollars to toss, we understand that as well. You can go over to youtube.com/nerdcave network and get the podcast day by day, segment by segment until Friday, where we put up the whole kit and caboodle just for you. I got it right this week.
There we go.
So let's get into it. Electronic Arts has acquired Respawn Entertainment, the creators of Titanfall. After years of working together on Titanfall, EA has announced it has acquired series creator Respawn Entertainment. Previously, only a EA partner with Titanfall, Respawn was founded by Jason West and Vince Zampella, two of the original creators of the Call of Duty series. The two were fired by Activision after the release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and after founding Respawn Entertainment signed a publishing deal with EA for the Xbox One launch title Titanfall. They followed it up with Titanfall 2 in 2016, a critical darling that didn't meet sales expectations, most likely because it was released directly between the launches of Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare, and Battlefield 1, which was just a crap fest for Titanfall. Like, EA was just like, all right, walk that way. You have a gun, sir. Walk that way. I promise it will be okay. And then, like, Battlefield and Call of Duty just come out of nowhere, just like Field Titanfall, full of those. EA summarized the details of the acquisition. Under the agreement, EA will pay $151 million in cash and up to $164 million in the long-term equity in the form of restricted stock units to employees, which will vest over 4 years. In addition, EA may be required to pay additional variable cash considerations that contingent upon achievement of certain performance milestones relating to the development of future titles through the end of the calendar 2022. The additional consideration is limited up to $140 million. Sources tell that the studio is divided about the acquisition, with many people not happy being under a larger publisher again. Separate sources have also told us that the founder, Vince Zampella, plans to stay. Now, EA bought Respawn for $400 million.
That's a lot of dollars.
$400 million. Can you imagine $400 million?
No,
That's so much money.
Now, what's interesting is what's happening at EA. So, Nexon, which is this Chinese, I think it's Chinese or Japanese publishing company, made a bid for Respawn. EA has first dibs on it since they're a partner.
Yeah.
To make another bid. EA then closes Visceral Games. EA then buys Respawn. Do you think that something was going on here? Is it Nexon?
I looked up Nexon and it came, it's a Korean company.
Yeah, okay. I feel, and from what I've been reading, Old Jason Schreier over at
Huh.
Kotaku has done some digging.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This article I found with the Ars Technica. I don't know how to say that.
Yep.
Anyway,
Art
so
Technica.
EA shut down one of their other things.
Visceral Games. Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. As a response to another game publisher, Korea's Nexon making a bid formulated by Respawn outright. Nexon currently publishes a mobile spin-off of the Titan shooter series.
Mm-hmm.
So they were trying to be like, well, we do this, so let's do that. And then EA was like, no, ours.
Yeah. So from what I've read, Respawn is actually working on a Star Wars title. It was one of the 3 that was announced. DICE's Battlefront, Visceral's Star Wars game with Amy Hennig, and then Respawn had a game. From what has been said, Respawn's game, and they've only been working on it a short term of time, looks better than what Visceral's was looking like. And Visceral had been working on it a long time, and a lot of that kind of went into EA's decision to shutter Visceral Games and then buy out Respawn outright.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, go with the polished pony, I guess.
Yeah, people were going to give out the better quality product.
And it still irks me.
I was about to say, is it underhanded?
Yeah, it is. Because Visceral was actually a EA, made company. Like, it wasn't one that they bought. Yeah. But if you don't know, just go Google studios that EA has murdered. I mean, shut down. Sorry.
There's a long list.
There's a very long list. Blue Frog is one of them.
I'll look it up in a second.
Allie's going to look up the list of murders that they've acquired.
Apparently, Respawn they're also working on a VR game. That was announced at Oculus Connect 4 last month. Yeah.
So they're working on a Titanfall 3, that's confirmed.
Yeah.
They're working on a Star Wars game, and they're working on this Oculus Rift game. I'm not sure how big Respawn is, but it definitely says a lot about it.
I was trying to type down, shut down, and the first thing that pops up is Studio at EA has killed.
No,
I mean, it's a known thing.
I know, it's funny.
EA...
we have Bullfrog Productions.
Yep, Bullfrog. Yep.
Bullfrog. Westwood Studios. Origin Systems.
Yep. What's funny is
New FX.
Yep. Pandemic, which was amazing. Pandemic was awesome.
Playfish. Sounds familiar.
Don't really remember them.
Black Box Games.
Mm-hmm.
DreamWorks Interactive.
Yep. DreamWorks was good.
Phenomic Game Development. Victory Games. Mythic Entertainment. Maxis Software. Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Visceral Games. And
what I'm getting to is they have a very long track record. How many was in that list? Just scroll down.
I think it said it was either 11 or 12. I don't remember.
That's a bunch. Okay, that's a bunch of studios to kill.
Oh yeah.
Now PlayStation, Sony, they've shuttered a few. Microsoft shuttered a few recently as well. Yeah. But it's not on the scale that EA has done.
EA chews and spits people out like bubble gum.
I'm going to go ahead and call the next one. I'm hoping that it doesn't happen. BioWare is the next one to die.
That I have yet to ever shed a tear due to developers getting canned. Like
I would
BioWare would probably make me tear up a little bit.
Well, we see them at a very precarious situation right now from Mass Effect Andromeda. Like, they are in a very, very, just precarious place.
And it's just down.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that with Anthem, they will, rocket past. They'll, just be amazing and all of that.
I think that what will happen is they'll give them Anthem, and then, because we know that they are working on we're not working on the next Dragon Age game, because they're casting people for it. So I think they'll give them those 2 chances. Dragon Age will definitely, just because everyone loves Dragon Age, at least people who are into it, they love it. So that'll do well, and Anthem, as far as we've seen, which has only been a little bit, looks really interesting. So I think they'll be able to save themselves as long as they but they have to produce really good content for the next.
Oh yeah.
good few years.
So let's just hope.
But if they shut down, I will cry.
I'll
hold a little funeral and be like,
one day Respawn will be murdered as well. They're all coming for you.
Anytime you get in bed with these big old companies, I mean, there's always the chance, especially with EA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would have something in my clause, like written, like where I have an out.
Yeah,
but
it's scary. This is another interesting development this week from EA.
I like this.
FIFA 19 and Madden 19 may not get a release. EA tout subscription model. For over 15 years, EA Sports has released annual iterations of its most popular sports series. However, in an interview with Bloomberg, EA CEO Andrew Wilson has said that the company is considered ditching yearly releases, referring specifically to FIFA and Madden series and online updates. Wilson said that he views these games as a 365-day live service. There's a world where it gets easier and easier to move that code around, where we may not have to do an annual release, he's told Bloomberg. It seems that EA is in its preliminary stages of discussing on how to proceed with its two major sports franchises and whether to plow ahead with the plan simply update FIFA and Madden in future iterations. Whether that outcome will affect the release of FIFA 19 and Madden 19 remains to be seen. So I'm curious what your thoughts are. Here are my quick one because I want to hear yours. I don't actually mind this because I'm pretty much gone totally digital here. If they go this route, they are cutting a lot of people off. That's my big concern there is they're cutting a lot of people off that do not buy digital games because their internet is crap. I was there. You were there. We all understand how that is. So they're cutting a lot of people off there, and especially if it requires you to be online to play the game, like if it's an always online game. If it's where you download the game and then you don't have to be connected, and like you buy the game essentially, and then if you want to keep getting updates, you pay for the service or whatever. Yeah. I think that would be interesting. If you bought the last game, like if you bought Madden 18 or FIFA 18, would it let you like have it installed and then it just updates from then on, like as long as you pay the subscription? Like I'm curious about those things. So what are your thoughts here?
There's a lot of things that are still up in the air, but the biggest concern is going to come to what's going to happen in franchise mode, because that's what drives a lot of your games on Xbox and PlayStation, because you have thousands upon thousands, probably. I mean, I don't even know how many, but 32 team franchises. I know I'm in them. Nick Caputo's in them. You're going to have to come up with something to appease them, because I wouldn't mind it being an every 2-year thing. Hey, it's going to save me a little bit of money in the long run.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to come up with some kind of update, because, I know in some of my Madden leagues, I can go 3, 4, 5 years before it starts dwindling down, because by that time you're 5 seasons in, and all the new rookies for the next Madden, the next Madden's about to come out, so everybody's getting ready for it.
Yeah, EA's
going to have to put some kind of update in there that's going to add the rookies from that 2019's draft year into the game to be able, because who wouldn't want some of these outstanding QBs, wide receivers, defensive players that's in the NCAA right now?
Well, I think that if they go this route where it's a continually updating thing, like when the next year comes up, they will of course update it. Because if you look at the last NCAA game, like people are still putting out downloadable rosters because that's something you can do, and keeping that game relevant, if you will. It's a 360 PlayStation 3 game, but they're continually putting out updated rosters that you can download. So of course they're going to do that. They're going to have stats, and like they'll even have it probably where during the season, if somebody's doing really well, their stats get better. If they are bombing every time, their stats are going to get worse. My curiosity is, how is it going to affect the bottom line? Are they going to charge every year for a game? Like, is it going to be $60 for to be able to play FIFA every year with updated rosters and support 365.
So are you talking about after, like, all right?
I'm talking about each year, and like we know that not every year there's these huge overhauls. It's like every 3 years are a big, change for the game. Most of the time it's just like incremental little things. Yeah. Is it going to be every year they just do roster updates with some cleaning and some more effects, with physics and everything? Or is it going to be like are you going to get charged $60 every year for that? Or are you going to, I doubt that they're going to make it less than what it is now.
See, then that's where they're going to run into the issue. You're not giving us I mean, like I said, this is still fairly new. We don't know any details on
this just came out this week.
Like, so I know a lot that's going to irk a lot of people because you're not getting what feels like a finished product. You're just, I mean, would you pay $60 for an update? I mean, that's
no, I wouldn't.
That's where it's going to go, and that's where a lot of people who are playing these 32-man leagues.
And that's pretty much what you're paying for each year is an update.
And I mean,
if you bought it, have you bought it digital this year?
Yeah, I did.
Then there you go. You just paid $60 for an update.
And trust me, I understand. But yeah,
and we've done it every year. That's what I'm saying is like they're not going to charge less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It might be, if I was doing it and I wanted to keep people interested and vested in this, I would charge $60 up front. And when there was a big update, when we've improved graphics or we've put a new physics engine in there or we've added something new to the gameplay mechanics, then it would be another $60. But the rest of the time, it would be like $30 that year. If it's just a roster update, with some new stuff, new music going in there, that sort of deal, I would make those years less. But that's me being from a consumer side of thing.
I mean,
and again, we just read off a list of of publishers. I'm not publishers, developers that this company has killed.
Yeah.
So
that's not. They're not morally sound.
And I know this isn't in the. Man, you're killing my camera over there, scratching my lens. I know this is not in the news this week, our articles, but it's a simple machine, like a pulley.
I didn't want to make it.
Take-Two Interactive has put out they was in their sales calls or whatever, quarterly calls, that microtransactions are now making more than selling games.
Oh my God.
So we've lost the war.
Good job.
So
good job, people. I mean, you failed us.
I'm saddened. Like, I'm going to keep fighting the good fight.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't bought a microtransaction.
I haven't bought a game that has a microtransaction. I didn't buy Assassin's Creed. I didn't buy Shadow of War. I just wanted to point that out because EA is going down that path as well. Yeah. But, when you've got, like, games that aren't broke, like GTA is not broke. Like, you can earn all of that stuff in GTA, like the cash that it takes, but of course you could pay it for it as well. The ones that are broke are like
Call of Duty.
I'm even talking about Call of Duty. I'm talking about Take-Two is NBA 2K. Like, it is completely jank right now.
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing is because me and you haven't even bought it. We bought it forever. And this year it's just like, we're good, man.
I've been playing